Hi everyone, I'm a little bit late today to get my Terrific Tuesday card done, but I am here and I will get this uploaded and hopefully it will still be available on Tuesday. If I have upload issues, it may not be until Wednesday, but I'm ready to get started and we'll see what happens. So today we're going to be doing another card featuring a bundle from our mini catalog, which goes from July to December of 2021. We are going to be using the bundle that you'll find on page 48. It is the Pretty Pumpkins bundle. We're only using one stamp, but we are using a couple of the dies. The dies are called Detailed Pumpkin dies. And as always, if you would be interested in purchasing a bundle, you get a 10% discount if you get the dies and the stamp set together. So that does save you some money, which is always a good thing. We're also going to be using some really pretty fall designer series paper. It's called Harvest Meadow, and it's just really pretty fall colors. I really do like this set of papers. So let me show you the cards that we're doing. I've actually done this in two different sentiments. I did a You're in My Thoughts, kind of like thinking of you, and Happy Fall, y'all. I don't do a lot with Halloween, but I always enjoy doing fall cards, so that's a good sentiment for me. In You're in My Thoughts, I've done just a little greeting that says you thought you could use some sunny thoughts today. And then for the Happy Fall, y'all, I just did a fun little hey, happy hello to you. So let me show you the products that we're using today. For stamp sets, there does seem to be a lot of different things here, but it's really a pretty simple card. I just chose to use several stamp sets. So for the Happy Fall Y'all, I used that out of the Banner Year stamp set. This is a cute set. It's got a lot of different sayings for lots of different holidays and occasions. For the inside greetings, I used the Sunny Sentiments. I use this a lot. I like the nice large greetings. And then for our envelope, really the only stamp set I'm using is the pumpkin. And then here are the dies that go with it, and we're going to be using this very intricate pumpkin, and then this smaller just with the little details on it. And we will also be using for the edge on our designer series paper, I'm going to be using a die from the Basic Borders dies. We're using this one right here. This die set has a lot of different treatments that you could do for edges of your card or of your layers. So it's a nice set, and I do use it quite a bit. Let me put those away. We're also using a embossing folder. It's called Bark, and this is a 3D, so it makes a really nice dark embossing. We're embossing this dark brown piece across the front here, just to add a little interest to our card. For our ink pads, we're doing Early Espresso, Calypso Coral for the pumpkin on the envelope, and Soft Suede, which I use to sponge around the edges of the mint macaron layer. So, and then we're also using some embellishments. These are brushed metallic adhesive back dots, and they're they're matte finished. And you have the gold and the copper, and I don't know if this is supposed to be bronze or it kind of has a green cast to it, but they're very pretty, and that's what we're going to be embellishing. In your packet, you will of course have your envelope, which I have already stamped with our pretty little pumpkin in the Calypso Coral. You will have a card base. This is Soft Suede. It's our usual 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. You have an inside piece of basic white. This is the 5 by 4 1/4. I'm sorry, 4 by 5 1/4. We have a mint macaron layer, which is 3 3/4 by 5. We have a designer series paper layer that is 3.5 by 4 3/4. We have our Early Espresso piece that we're going to be embossing. This is actually 3.5 by 2 inches. And then we have about a 2.5 inch square of Calypso Coral that I'm using to cut out one of the pumpkins. You will also have a gold pumpkin that I have already cut out for you. and put it on sticky paper so that you don't, sticky adhesive sheet, so that you don't have to worry about trying to glue all of this fine detailed stuff down. So I think to get started, we will just start with get our stamping all done. And I've already pre-done some of this card, and the card that I have pre-done actually is the Happy Fall card. So for that sentiment, I'm using a Happy Hello to You. And we will put this up in our Stamparatus. And we will get this inked up. I have both inside greetings for whichever sentiment stamp you choose on here. This is a card that we will be doing on our class this Thursday night and Friday during the day. Now I stamped this a couple of times just because I like my greetings to be nice and dark. And I really think I need to ink up my little Stampin' Spot because I think it's getting a little bit dry, and I'll have that done before we have class. Unfortunately, some of my ladies who always come to class have COVID, or have either have COVID or have been exposed. So I'm going to have a bit of a smaller class this week, but it'll be fine. There's going to be somebody in every time slot, so it'll be all right. I have so far, my ladies that are ill are not super ill. Some of them have been vaccinated. I don't know about some of the others. So I'm hoping that they'll get over it quickly. And whoops, sorry about the noise. I just slid something off of my storage table. Okay, and so we're going to stamp our mint macaron piece with the Happy Fall, y'all. And this one I inked up several times just because, I don't know, I don't normally stamp on colored cardstock, although it looks really nice, and I don't know why I don't think of doing it more often. But I do want it to be very dark, so I'm just gonna do a few more of these than I would normally. I hope you guys are all staying safe and not having any issues. My husband and I, we don't go out a lot, although we go to church and we do go out to eat, but we don't do a lot of running around, so hopefully that's keeping us safe. And we have been vaccinated, although that's not a sure thing anymore that it's gonna keep you from getting it, although I've been told that most people, although there are exceptions, most people who have been vaccinated have not been as sick with it as those who haven't been. But again, that's, who knows? You never know what's going to happen. Okay, so what we're going to do here, and I've already pre-done some of this, but this is the piece that we would take and put our frame on, our edgelet, like, I don't really know what they call this, but it is a die. And we would put that on here and run it through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss, or whatever die machine that you have. And then this bottom piece would be what would go on the inside layer of your card. Now, I won't have a piece for my inside layer until I get this cut off, but that's how that's going to work. Now, I have already done that. This is the piece that we would run through that bark embossing folder. And again, I've done that. I have it right here. And I hope maybe you can see what a cool texture it gives to that. And then this piece is the piece that we would cut out our pumpkin with. And again, I have already done that right here, and I have backed it with dimensionals. So those things I did because I didn't bring my machine over here. So I think what we'll do is we'll just get started with, actually, so I've already done this part. So here's the green layer with the designer series put on top of it. And what I did for sponging is I just took a dauber, put it on my finger, inked it up, with the early espresso, and I just went around the edges like this. Just kind of sets it off a little bit. So I'm not going to do that whole thing because I've already done it on the one we're going to put on our card. So let's do, I think what I'll do is I'll put our inside piece down, and I can always put the designer series paper in after I get it cut. And we will line this up, and we'll see how straight I can get this. Still struggling with my allergies and my eyes running like crazy. And I just can't see, so I have to take my glasses off so I can see a little bit better. Hopefully I'm not with my head in the camera, but if I am, I apologize. It won't. I'll be out of the way in just a minute. Okay, there's the inside piece. Now for the front, we're going to take this and we're going to put our little brown piece on first. Now, whenever I'm working with, going to put down a really heavily embossed sheet, I always use my green cap glue just so that the glue kind of gets in the little gullies and stuff that the embossing folder makes, because your adhesive, if you do your tape runner, it just stays on top and it does not get down into the little valleys and so forth. So we will just put this on here, and I almost centered this, maybe brought it down a little bit more, but pretty close to center. And here's the designer series paper that I cut with that framelit. And then we can put this, let me make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. Okay, we'll put this on the front of our card. I don't know, some of you probably knew that my husband and I and my brother and his wife, we were planning a trip, going on a tour trip to view the fall colors on the East Coast. Well, we have decided that we are not going to do that. Not because of COVID, but because of the mask requirement. They basically said we would have to wear a mask everywhere we went, and that's not fun. And we hate wearing masks. And so we decided we're just not going to go this year. We might go some other year, but not this year. Okay, so now there's the front. So what we're going to do here with our little intricate pumpkin, like I say, it is already on sticky strip. That you'll see down here, there's quite a few pieces still left in, but most of the time, if you pull your sticky sheet off carefully, hopefully I can get this started. Haven't had any issues with this, except that now I'm on the camera and it's not going to want to oh, there we go. All right, so if you pull this off kind of slowly, a lot of the times the little pieces will stick and come out. Now, of course, because I said that, this one's not going to do that, but it's really not that hard to get them out. But not one of these is coming out. That's always the way it goes. Oh, there, that big long one came out. That's a good one. Okay, so it's really not that difficult because they're all pretty large pieces, but it is a little bit, they are intricate, so you want to be careful with how you're pulling them out so that you don't tear your pumpkin. And there's the big ones, and I do have 2 or 3 small ones that we will get out. And all you do is take your pokey tool and pull them out. Sometimes the little ones are harder to deal with than the big ones, but they come out. Okay. Okay. And then what I did on this one, I kind of centered it maybe a little bit higher, and I did tilt mine just a little bit, and then you just, whoops, push it down carefully. Oh, and here, look at here, I have a little piece right there. Bugs me. Hold on, I will try to get this off there. Might help if I put my glasses back on. Okay, there we go. Now, I will tell you this, some people don't mind. They leave all the little pieces in, and they just have the little marks of where all the pieces are, and they don't mind that. That's not my style. I like the intricate look, and I like all of that to be taken out. So on the back of this one, I did take and put dimensionals on it, and I actually used our little mini dimensionals. And I just pulled this off. I'm trying to get it off. Always has to be one. One in every crowd, right? Okay. And then this one I put over to the kind of overlapping on the gold pumpkin. And I didn't tell you that this gold metallic paper is actually in our big catalog, and it has rose gold and gold, and it's very easy to cut and really very, very nice. Okay, so the only other thing we have left to do is to put on our dimensionals, or I'm sorry, our embellishments. And I'm on this card, I'm going to use the copper. I'm going to put one down here. These do come in a couple of different sizes. Right now I'm using the smaller ones, but they also have some bigger ones right here. And then I'll put this up here. So there we go. We have our 3, and we definitely made a triangle out of that. So that, ladies, is our card for today. Here's all the cards that we've made. We made this one today. The only thing we're missing is the trim on the inside. And here are the other 2 that I had made as samples. So I hope you enjoy the card. It's fun. It's time to get into fall. Before we know it, we'll be doing Christmas. With that in mind, please remember that I'm doing a Christmas stamp a stack on October 23rd, and there'll be more details. I do want to give a shout out to Robin. This is who I actually, let's see, what does she call? Oh, Really Robin Stamps. And I changed mine up totally from what she did, but I did kind of get the inspiration from my layout from her. I did use this same designer series paper. I used different patterns. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.